Therefore, this festival should be taken with the serious consideration it deserves. For us as a ministry, we have a council, which is headed by the chairman board, and I would invite them to introduce themselves. Chairman board of the Intelligence Council, I would invite now the Deputy Mufti, who is also the vice chairperson, to come up and now introduce the agenda and introduce the members that are going to speak to us. The Deputy Mufti, please, you are most welcome to introduce the members that you have come with.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Sheikh Waiswa Muhammad Ali, the Deputy Mufti Uganda and the Executive Board Member of the Interreligious Council of Uganda. We have come with our leader and chairman of the Executive Board of the Interreligious Council of Uganda, Senior Kasivante, and Bishop Oyondo Herbert, and possibly some others are joining us at a later time. Ambassador, of course, is our host, and who is the pioneer of the program and of Global Peace Foundation. So we are happy to be here. We have come to share with you our commitment towards this family festival, the first of its kind in our country, that is going to be held here soon at the end of this month, with a couple of members from the rest of the world.
Thank you very much. Just to bring you to speed, this festival is organized under the theme of celebrating family, faith, freedom, one family under God for an African Renaissance, and twisting well with our national motto, for God and my country. So as the ministry, we feel that this one is going to bring the for God and my country motto into the hearts of families. And I call upon all Ugandans now to pick up and make meaning of our motto, relating it to the theme of the festival, such that it can drive in shaping our national outlook as a country, and how we can use the family to build our national development agenda. How we can use the family to even implement our transformation of society from a peasant to modern society. If you are talking about, as His Excellency said, that every family should be able to earn at least 20 million per year, that can be earned when the family has got the critical values that are desirable to drive the transformation agenda. So, Your Eminence, really, and board chairman and the Intelligence Council at large, we are very, very much pleased to ensure that now you are driving this agenda. As government, there is nothing that we can really say that will hold us back. But now we are getting now the stage to move on. And indeed, the media fraternity. This is the time now where you have to put everything on the microphone, through all the media houses, through the social medias, that is going to shape the narrative of this agenda. You know very well that as a country, we have 78% young people. The younger people need this idea, and when you make it as a festival, you dive into their emotional touch, so that they can now really rethink and shape what they are posting on the social media, what they are posting on the various media feeds, and what they are doing into all the aspects of their lives. So I think this is the right time that now we celebrate this family festival. As a reminder, or in addition to what the Deputy said, the celebration is going to be held on 29th June of the year 2040 at Kololo. And we are calling people to come up and join the celebration, which is going to take us into a level of inspiration to Ugandans to deliver the Uganda we want. Having said that, I want to invite the Chairman Board, Mheshimiwa Kasivante, and who also doubles as the vicar, Kampala Archdiocese, to come and give us the very comprehensive statement in regard to this festival. You are most welcome, my Lord.
Thank you very much, Commissioner of the Ministry of National Guidance. This is our press release. Esteemed members of the press, today marks another episode where we share insights on the Interreligious Family Festival 2024 that was launched on the 7th of May, an event that brings together religious leaders, cultural leaders, political leaders, youth, women, entrepreneurs, people of different professions, among others, walking side by side with their spouses, children, to celebrate the institution of the family in Uganda and Africa at large. The Family Festival 2024 is organized under the theme Celebrating Family, Faith, Freedom, One Family Under God for an African Renaissance. As we all know, the festival is an affirmation that the family is an integral unit, cardinal and basic for society and nation building. The family is well nurtured, is a center of social economic transformation. The festival will offer opportunity to celebrate our interconnectedness, deep-rooted values, and deeper understanding that it is the family that defines us all in Africa. We come to offer updates that the entire world is mobilized to join Uganda in protecting, promoting, and upholding the family institution as well-rooted African extended family values. Former presidents, led by His Excellency Aman Obed Karume, the chair of the African Former Presidential Council, His Excellency Obasanjo, His Excellency Ruto, and more, 17 former presidents from South America will be in Uganda, coupled with international delegates from faith institutions, civil society agencies, and development partners. We call upon you, listening and watching from everywhere you are, to join our solidarity in entrenching what matters most to us, the family. A number of our cultural leaders, artists, and educationists have all confirmed attendance. At the Family Festival at Kololo Independence Grounds on the 29th of June 2024, we shall be dancing, singing, exhibiting our heritage, dining in jubilation of who we are. We are all products of the family institution, an institution that we all hold dear. This will mark the beginning of such celebrations annually, and we continue to appeal to all couples to come for blessings for your family. All singles to come mingle and get suitable partners, and all youth to come and gain inspirations of the joy of being married, male and female, as rooted in our tradition and faith teachings. On the same day, we will offer community service through free medical services like screening for cervical, breast, and prostate cancer, HIV testing and counseling, malaria testing, eye checkup, blood donation, health education, and so on. Entry is free. We request traditional institutions to be organizing cultural dances, schools to be organizing skits, drama and songs, churches to be organizing songs, and all our artists to be warming up to entertain families on that day. This being the first of its kind family festival, we have invited everyone to come and celebrate on the 29th of June 2024 at Kololo Independence Grounds. Marital counseling is free, medical services are free, food is free, entertainment is free, and enjoyment is free. Thank you for standing with us in upholding families, one family at a time, one family under God, for God and my country. And thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Board. The message is very clear to all Uganda outside there, and so our duty as a media fraternity, pop up that message so that we can enter the hearts of hearts of people of Uganda, and we go and celebrate the family festival at Kololo. The details have been told. We now invite the Bishop Herbert Biondo to come and also share with us the same message in another dialect. You are most welcome, Bishop.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good to be here and glad to address the whole world in another dialect, as you mentioned. Asabone banyabo bansabye bino bizze mu lulimi olwawano mu Luganda mu bufunze. Amanya gange nze Herbert Biondo, omulabizi wa Kampala, muzikiza y'abalokole era mu Interreligious Council yentumye wano nga bulijjo tuze ne mukama waffe era olukiiko luno lwa Interreligious Council mugimanyi bulungi nnyo eriko gye bayita Executive Board ne Secretariat then ne ba Council Presidents. Ba Council Presidents be bakulembeze ab'okuntikko ba Archbishops y'ekyangu kigambo ekyangu abakulira enzikiriza ez'enjawulo. Tulina ba members 7 kati abo batusindise wano okubakiikirira. Kati Executive Board ekulibwa chairman waffe Monsignor Charles Kasibante ate nga ye Vicar General wa Kampala Archdiocese. So amaze okwogera ayogedde mu Luzungu kati nze ebigambo byayogedde kambize mu Luganda. Basebo ne banyabo kyebayita Family Festival gwe mukolo oba kyekijaguzo ekigezaako kyetukoze nga Interreligious Council, Global Peace Foundation ne gavumenti nga bwe muwulidde omukulu ava mu gavumenti ya Uganda nga twegattidde awamu ne ba cultural leaders okulaba nti tuzza omutindo gwa famire ku luguudo. Abadde balowooza nti famire zagootaana, famire ne waffe mu Africa zikyali nnene era zikyali za mugaso era tuzissaamu ekitiibwa zezitufudde kyetuli. Tetwali badde kyetuli singa tetwazaalibwa mu famirizi zaffe. Famire ekolebwa taata, maama n'abaana n'abantu abatwegattako ne bafuuka famire. Oba bazze batya kasaba nga begasse mu nyumba ebeera famire yaffe. Kyetuva tubeera ne kibayita nuclear family ne extended family. Kati ebyo tubissaamu nnyo amaanyi okulaba nti tubipromotinga. Kino ekikujjuko ekyo kigezaako kukola. Mu kino ekikujjuko kigenda kubeerawo ng'ennaku z'omwezi 29 omwezi ogw'omukaaga omwaka 2024. Eyo y'entandikwa. Kati oluvannyuma lw'ekyo tulyoke tweyongereyo tukitwala awalala n'abalala bakikoppe tuzze wano nga tulangirira abakopi bakoppe tusobole okweyongera mu maaso okoppa okulungi. Mu bino tukimanyi nti family yensibuko y'okulaakulana. Abaganda bagamba nti kakyama mamera bwogolola kamenyeka bumenyesi. Mu family eno gyetutendekera abaana okuvaamu abantu ab'omugaso nga balaba ebifaananyi ebirungi okusobola okugenda mu maaso mwe tuva okuzimba eggwanga. Ekyokubiri, mu family mwe tusobola okujja kye bayita social economic transformation oba ebyenkulaakulana eby'omuggundu ebisobola okuyamba eggwanga naye nga bitandikidde mu maka. Amaka bwe gaba nga mavundu tebakulimba nti musobola okukulaakulana obulungi. Ebimu ku bibadde bituzze emabega n'obutagenda mu maaso ye Africa okubeera nga tulowooza nti ebyokulaakulana tujja bijja mu ssomero, tujja bijja Bulaaya. Ebyokulaakulana bajjajjaffe babitandikiranga mu maka okusobola okwezimba n'okuzimba eggwanga. Deeper rooted values and deeper understanding of Africa. Amaka gaffe ge gasobola okunyonyola kye bayita Africa yokka yensi ekkiririza mu kye bayita community. Omwana takuzibwa omu, ezo zengero zaffe. Omwana akuzibwa kitundu, akuzibwa kyalo. Ebyo enjogera yaffe mu Africa. Ekyo tosobola kisanga mu bannaffe bali bakyeruppe. Then akalala, omukolo guno oba ekikujjuko kino tekiri waffe wamwokka mu Uganda, kikuŋŋaanyiza abavudde okumpi n'ewala nga mwe muli abakulembeze ab'amawanga abaliko n'abo abaavaako edda. Mu baavaako edda waliwo ekibiina ekibakulira ng'ekyo kikulemberwa ow'ekitiibwa President Aman Obeid Karum, era ng'oyo y'omu ku bagenda okukulembera. Then ekibiina ekyo kyakulembera, then nekulwakubeera ku chairman wa the African Former Presidential Council, oyo His Excellency Obatanjo mumanyi bulungi nnyo. President Ruto agenda kubeera naffe n'abalala bangi ba president nga 17 betugenda okubeera nabo. Ensi yonna egenda kuŋŋaanira wano, ate abeera Kololo oyo ajja bajjaga nti kyali ku mbaga y'amajanja ekigenda okubeera Kololo anaakisubwa oyo ajja kiwulira mu mawulire nga gakimuwadde ng'ekinyegenyege kimukutte ate atusaanye nga tumaze okuvaayo. Katukubiriza buli omu ajja abeerewo yerabire kuba n'abatalabwangako. Okay, cultural leaders, bakulembeze b'ennono oba cultural institutions, bakulembeze b'ennono, bakabaka n'abakulembeze ab'enjawulo ab'ennono kw'otadde abayimbi, abazinyi, bannabyanjigiriza n'abantu abalala bonna bagenda kukuŋŋaanira Kololo. Ekinaabeera eri gwasigadde eyo gw'onookiwulira naye ffe tugenda kyerabirako. Then ng'ovudde ku ekyo, kino ekyekololo kya bwereere bulijjo mugenda mu bivvulu nga babasasuza ssente. Ku luno ekivvulu kya bwereere kubanga endongo egenda okubeera eri tuyise buli muyimbi gwe wali owuliddeko kasitaaba ng'azimba maka. Oyo atazimba maka agira asigalayo, naye azimba amaka ng'akkiririza mu maka oyo tumuyisa agenda kubeerayo. Tuyise bannabyanjigiriza okusobola okwesitiiringa nti mu famire yeeva ebyenjigiriza ebisookerwako. So kati bwe kinaakusuba olindanga mulala yanaakunyumiza. Kino kigenda yentandikwa ekigenda okubeerawo buli mwaka. Tetugenda kikomya ku luno lwokka, eno ntandikwa butandikwa. Tugenda kiteeka ku kalenda y'eggwanga kubanga pulezidenti bw'ajjera omulimu omukulu ogumuleeta kujja kulangirira nti kino kigenda kubeerawo olunaku buli mwaka nga bwe tujaguza independence. Tujaguze ne independence y'amaka buli mwaka nga waliwo okujaguza n'okwebaza Mukama olw'amaka kubanga eyo enteekateeka ya Katonda. Ekisembayo wagenda kubeerawo ebyobulamu nga bya bwereere. Bwe yayagala edda okukebera kansa owa buli kika, kansa ow'amabeere, kansa owannabaana, kansa ow'abaami gwe bayita prostate cancer, screening oba okukebera kugenda kubeera kwa bwereere. Kakati gwe nga wanoonya dda w'oyitira ne w'otandikira, eno yentandikwa kati jangu ofune ebyo nga bya bwereere. Ekisembayo ddala nti n'amaka mubeeramu kye bayita counseling oba okubuulirirwa oba okubeera n'ebibuuzo n'obiddamu. Bw'ogenda mu bitundu ebimu osasula kubanga eri office ezibikolako. Oyinza okujja ng'oyagala bishop wa Kampala ku counseling mu by'obufumbo kubanga aludde mu bufumbo nga tojja mulaba kubanga program si bweyimiridde. Naye ku luno batuleetedde bwereere, tugenda kutuula wali tunyonnyole abantu ku byamakoli abuze ebibuuzo nga waliwo gundi ez'enjawulo tukubuulire ebintu bye bitambula anti tukibaddemu mwe twazaalibwa mwe tukulidde mwe tuli. So nkusaba oleme kusubwa ku mulundi guno mu kintu ekifaanana bwe kityo. Tubeebazizza nnyo ebyo byonna byonna tubyogedde ku lwa Katonda n'ensi yaffe mu linnya lya Mukama waffe.
Thank you so much, the chairman board and your team. So friends, you have had wonderful festival. That's bring all of us together regardless of our diversities. That's rallying us to think about what we must offer in this country to build the Uganda we want. And now we invite members of the press to ask any question to the team, and they are willing to answer you, but we stick to the subject matter which has brought us here today. The family festival.
Commissioner Manya Nsalisa Kigongo, nkola ne Radio Bidani. Tusaba nawe tweko Uganda naye nga tunabatuwa. Njagala kubuuza omumyuka wa Mufti Sheikh Abdul Wasim Sheikh Muhammad Ali Waisa. Kama nge neetonda olwekyo. Neetonda Mukama wange. Ensonga eriwo nti tulaba mukadde waffe nti oluwa abakyala bana abasigadde bonna balina omukyalo oba ba mukyalo omu okusinza ku nzikiriza zaabwe oba tebalina. Ensonga eno kubanga omulama gugamba one family, waliwo abalabanga nti bwe w'abakyala abana olina family ennya ate bo batunuulidde family eno.
My name is Anita Wako, UBC. My question goes to Deputy Imam. I would like to know if you can highlight more on the Islamic teaching on family, and in your opinion, what are some of the challenges encountered in families today?
Another one?
My name is Joji Bukenya. Thank you very much, Commissioner. My name is Joji Bukenya. I work with Daily Star News, Uganda Online. It's online. Mine is a rejoinder from what Namuiru asked of UBC. As a journalist, I interact with many people, including the youth, especially in the ghetto, the border, and those who go to bars. But the information I get, youth from the age of 20 to 30, 35, they no longer want to marry. Now that our spiritual leaders are here, I want them to tell us what they have come up with. What have they found that people don't want to marry, especially the youth who are in the marrying age group? Thank you.
I think we can have responses to those three answers, those three questions, and then we shall continue. Uganda oganye tuyagalako mu Luganda, Bishop akikoze bulungi nnyo. Naye kakati ngaffe nga Ministry of ICT and National Guidance tujja kukikolako naye kati tumale okufuna eddoboozi yennyini okuva enkufu bennyini mu nsonga eno banannyini nsonga eno. So I invite the Deputy to respond.
Thank you for the questions. The family in an Islamic perspective is the same as the family in the rest of the institutions, especially in terms of bonding relationship, because this is a legal way of bonding one another into a family relationship. However, in the Muslim perspective, one is allowed to marry more than one wife to the limit of 4. But all in all, it remains the same about the responsibilities and obligations accorded into this kind of family setup. One may wonder how possible that could be, but it depends on the capacity of different individuals and the needs of the society. That's what Islam addressed. Because within a society, you'll find very many people with different problems. For instance, if we only went for one woman, one man, there could happen situations like wars where men are killed most because they are the most to go at war, and then very many women will remain without partners. Or some men would die and leave out widows. In Islam, we do not encourage only to create widow associations, but we want them to be attended to because they are equally human beings. They have to be attended to, but again, you would find it difficult for a bachelor to go for a widow, though it is not something which is prohibitable. Therefore, in so many perspectives, Islam saw to it that it is allowed for one to go on for an extra relationship to the limit of 4, but it is not a must, because not all of us have the capacity and ability to do so. Those who have it can go into it, because even the Quran warned that if you do not have the capacity to do it, then you should remain at 1, because there is no use for a marriage to be constituted and cause violence and anarchy, because the purpose of the marriage is to give peace, tranquility, and happiness. So if we go into it without capacity, without ability, some of those things will come as a result. And if we leave it, people will go on the street, as you know very well. Not street children, but adult people will go on the street. And we in Islam, we will not want to see a situation like that one should remain on the street. So the Islamic teachings are very wide on bonding relationship in marriage, but the most basic one is that the principle which the Prophet said, that the best of us is the one who is the best at his own family. The yardstick for one has very happy people, very generous, but when going back to their families, they turn different. And therefore, the need to the best way of charity giving, whatever charity you bless, where when you deny the family, you have to begin with the family first. You have to becomes more expensive than bonding into one single relationship. So it is better to be in
putting down laws that will favor family. Family is a very important unit in society. Without family, nothing works. And secondly, when it comes to another reason why young men are running away from family, according to my little research, they want to have freedom, this liberty. They don't want to take the responsibility, just being free, you know. When I get married, I'll be, you know, they will be ask me questions. How can in Africa a man does not need to be asked questions, and this woman will ask me questions? Why I am educated, I can do my job, so I don't need to get married to this man who will ask me questions. Where are you from? What are you doing? All those have proved a problem, and for that matter. And therefore, we want to call upon young people to come back and enjoy the benefits and the fruits of marriage. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 9, that whole text is all about marriage. But in this verse specifically, talks about the desires of a human being. As Sheikh Al-Waiswa has said, that many people leave family and decide to go and start producing children anyhow. You know, start scattering them all over. At the end of the day, these children will not know where they came from. They will not know what to do next, because nobody has nurtured them. He or she was born on the street, or with a certain lady who, you know, who doesn't know where she got this baby from. Oh, she knows, but she cannot exactly tell this baby that so and so is your father, and your father is nowhere. At the end of the day, this child will become a problem to society. First, to the mother and the people around. Secondly, to the whole society. For those of you that have been watching on social media, there is something that I just learned yesterday about a young lady who decided to brutally kill the baby because the one that gave her that baby ran away from her, leaving her with the baby and also HIV. She's frustrated, tormented. She's, you know, you see this and you think she's mad. She's not mad. What brought the madness is this gesture or act of irresponsibility of the father. And for that matter, we want to bring back family, knowing that get a child in family.
When it comes to music, when it comes to film, when it comes to anything to do with entertainment, we communicate a lot. And we contribute 80% to the mindset of the youths and all the people. When it comes to the implementation, I really love it when organizations work hand in hand with the people in charge of communication and entertainment, because we influence a lot. When it comes to the songs we sing, they matter a lot. The information we disperse to the audience matter a lot. So I'm here to rally all the musicians, not only musicians, all the creatives, all the comedians. This is the time we give back to the community. Let's give back to the community. They have given us enough support. How do we see family? How are we going to influence family? Family is a core in promoting and upholding the morals of the nation. Let's get back to our roots. Mind about what you sing. What are you teaching the young generation? What are you singing about? Any cause which is very important to the nation. How are we contributing to the national importance? This is the right time. Let's get on board. Let's be part of this family festival. Come with your family. We normally don't like moving with our families because they're a little bit confidential. So me as Fina, I'll come with my husband on that day. I'll come with Santon and Junior. I'm a family lady. I have 2 children and a husband. So I'll be there with my family on the 29th of June at Kololo Airstrip. I call upon all other artists. We are influencers. Move with your people. Show them, show the audience how you are. Are you ready? Aren't you just singing about the family? Are you just singing about it? Are you doing the practice? The male singers, are you married? Are you married? Or just joking around? The female singers. By the way, we have to come to the Interreligious Council for some sessions when it comes to family. Otherwise, for this time. Yeah. For the creative sector, the entertainment sector, please come on board. Let us show love to our nation. This is Uganda. This is the national importance. Family is one of the cores. It creates the bond. Before we call upon the government to help us with the discipline, with work, it begins from family. Charity begins at home. How is your family? How are you bringing up your children? What is their conduct as the mother? How are you behaving as the musician? How are you dressing up? Sometimes I hear musicians saying, I do what I like. But then you're an influencer. You're influencing very many young people to do what you do because of the love they have for you. Are you doing the right thing? Are we promoting the right thing, which is helping our families and the nation? So, as the creative sector, we are giving it all for the 29th of June. We are on board. All musicians, if you want to perform, please come on board. The stage is going to be there with good sound. The Uganda Musicians Association is doing all the booking, so you can come to the office and book for your performance. We are on board as musicians. I'll perform. Even other musicians will perform. The creatives, please come on board. The comedians, let us give back to our nation. Let us give back to our children. Because the thing is all about children. We are preparing the future nation. What is it going to be? What are we showing them? So besides the festival, mind about what you put out as content. All entertainers, can we put our hands together and disperse content which is helpful to our nation, most especially the young generation? As the creative sector, we just assure the nation that we are on board. Musicians, please come on board. All entertainers, come on board. On behalf of the whole sector, we love families. And we love you because you love us. Thank you so much for the support. Otherwise, Interreligious Council, we really need you in our sector so that we can move as a team for God and my country. Moluganda.
For the continent. From that perspective, we want to mobilize the country. As a host nation, Kololo is going to the venue of more than 60,000 people. We call upon all parents in the country that please prepare your children, your kojas, uncles, aunties, grandparents. Actually, grandparents should be the leaders, leading, because these are walking libraries to share their perspective. I want to say that it is very, very special to celebrate our families. Not only our families, but in the perspective of Africa. That Africa's definition of family is not just mother and father and the children. Many of us are who we are because of the role of uncles, of aunties. Not only that, but the parents of our wives, the parents of the other side of the men. I mean our wives, but their parents, us the men, are supporting the families of our wives. That's not an easy international concept. It is only in Africa. So in this case, for the first time, we want to see every man leading by example. To say, my wife, my beautiful wife, you have been cooking for us food for 30 years. It is time for us to work together. If you have 4 wives, please rally them in the sitting room. Start preparing all your children. Even the children we are hiding, you know, men in Africa hide children for possible challenges. This time, bring all your children. Those you are hiding for the first time, bring them so that Uganda can count you and your family. Indeed, not only that, but we also want to celebrate our religious freedoms. I thank the government of Uganda that in the heart of Africa, Uganda is ranking #1 in giving Ugandans the power and the right to actually belong to any religion. During Idi Amin's regime, that was not the trend. You remember, 36, 37 years across the road, every Ugandan is enjoying the religious freedoms. Even the countries in the West do not explore this opportunity. In Africa and in the heart of Africa, Uganda takes the best. And so we are coming to Kololo in our religious denominations, the Catholics, the Anglican, the Muslims, the SDAs, the Pentecostals, everybody, everyone. We should come for the first time for us to mingle together and eat together and dance together and celebrate God and God what He has given us. Giving us family is not just a small gift, it's a big gift for us to be able to celebrate. So we mean that the children will be able to award the parents and say, Mommy, Daddy, thank you. So we want to see children who can buy vehicles or laptops or cakes, anything you want to give to your parents. Please bring it in Kololo and you'll be on the screen. The whole world will be learning from what you're doing. And so disciplined children will be awarded by their parents. Why not? Even those that are the worst players in the community have parents. On that day, we want to prepare and nurture children of good character. So that somehow the mentorship is for free. Come. You want to leave drugs? You want to leave these things of drugs. Some young people want to sleep with dogs and cows. You alcohol, you have addiction to alcohol and other drugs. Please come, use this opportunity. Come and meet the best world's teachers in mentorship, in business, in well-being, in health. Everyone will be able to dream big and walk big. But lastly, I want to say for the first time, we want to celebrate our culture. Our culture. For the first time, our king sees the time of slavery when the African kings really did not protect Africa. They have been silent. Let them come for the first time and be on the same platform, commanding on values and taking the center stage. The king of Uganda, the king of Soga, the king of Rwenzururu, the king of Toro, the Omorimori, the king of Soga, the king of Wamba, all the kings. This is your time for us to be able to be driven back to the power of African Renaissance that built the pyramid, that built all the world's religions, founded all world values and education models. This is the time the kings are taking the center stage so that we can now unite Africa through the power of kingdoms. That is what I want to say. But I want to say that the end of corruption, the end of global warming, the end of poor governance, the end of all these crimes that we are seeing on the streets of Kampala, the end of poverty, all these things that are eating us as a government and Africa, can only be a message of history that it was fought not by the gun. The families will fight them. So I call upon everyone to come and learn. Come and eat the best dishes. Each cultural institution is going to prepare a meal. I want to see how Buganda Kingdom is going to prepare for us the Akatogo. I want to see the Bachiga bringing the Amashaja. It's called Amashaza. The Basoga. Which meal do they have? The Amaido. You know, Everyone, but the dressing code must be decent. This is something I want to tell you. We want to see in Kololo, everyone, if you're in Uganda, put on smartly to represent your kingdom. If you're from Obudingia, you know, that is power. Come and showcase the power of art of your kingdom, of your culture. Each religion is going to prepare their report on how they have impacted Africa in the field of science and technology, education, and spirituality, values. Everything will be talked about. I want to say, may God bless you. I want to thank once again the talent industry, because you are taking now a center stage in communicating. We want to say you're welcome. Come and lead us in entertaining our people through music, but music that inspires, that transforms us. I want to thank our religious leaders. Please clap for them, because usually you usually invite them, they will come. No, we are saying they must lead us. They must lead us, so that somehow it is non-political. Political leaders that divide our country. This is the message to you. Now everyone is hiding. They are all doing campaigns all over, and you're preparing consult. What are you consulting? We want to say, political party leaders, on this day, please come to Kololo with your first ladies. Each one of you has a first lady, second lady. All of them, bring them on that day, so that we see you as an example in leading Uganda maybe in the future. But I'm very happy of the president. The first lady has confirmed. And the first family. Yes, he has been pioneering and defending the values of the family. So each one of us, putting politics aside, we want on that day, each political leader to be seated in one tent and dancing together and eating together. Then these children should know each other. Okay, I'm the son of Chagulanyi Sentamu. Then we want to see, maybe it's called MK. It's called MK on the other side, right? The first son. So we want to see how these children of political party leaders can also eat together and dance together, so that we can learn that politics is not a game of battling each other, fighting each other, killing one another, but it is an embracing center of values of Africa, of Ubuntu, living for greater good of others and of the country. May God bless you.
Thank you. That's a powerful message which brings us now to coming to the near end of our function. In totality, building a value-based society. For what? For good of everybody, for the common good of everybody. May I now invite Chairman Board to come, answer the question that has come from the audience, and also say your last message to the people of Uganda in respect to this festival. You are most welcome, Mr.
Thank you. 2 or 3 questions that needed to be responded to. One, I think, was pertaining to husbands not coming home for fear of what is going to happen. But one thing about marriage, when people are married, they become companions. But also, they have to remember that they have to support each other, teach each other. If people get married, they can help each other to acquire those qualities, so that the couple get to teach each other. The wife teaches the husband, and husband teaches the wife, so that they can build a home, a community that is amicable. In marriage, there is trusting. You have to trust each other. And that has to have some expectations. Things that you expect from your partner, things that you like to see in him or in her. Those things may not be there, but you may help him or her to learn them. Then you can make a home that is agreeable for both of you. And it can be a resting place. It's not a place to run from, it's not a place to stay away from, but a place you long to come back to, because it is welcoming, it is a place to feel at home, it is a pleasing place, and it's a place that you want to be and want to stay. So I think in marriage there has to be faithfulness. You know, husband and wife have to be faithful to each other. And that brings about trusting and being dependent on each other. And so the question of DNA testing, I think, will not arise. If you are faithful to each other, you trust each other, then DNA will not be a question. But the moment you begin to doubt your partner, then there's a problem. And that is not the way marriage should be. You should be trusting in each other. And when you get married, you forget other things. For us in the Christian way, there is one-to-one. When you get married, that is the one you have to look up to. And you forget the others. In marriage, there has to be some kind of restraint. Yeah, there have to be self-control. You cannot live at large. You cannot do whatever you feel. No. You have a commitment. You have committed yourself to your friend. There may be temptations, there may be insinuations, but those you have to fight against and try to avoid for the purpose of strengthening your marriage so that you have your home. During the festival, there will be time for the young people, and there will be a forum for them to discuss certain issues. And those, I think, will be part of the things that they will discuss. Things pertaining to marriage, things pertaining to home, things pertaining to life. Mr. Simon Chiaga asked about a book being printed or being made ready. In a syllabus which is called CRE, there is an element that deals with marriage. I think that needs to be strengthened. It needs to be strengthened so that the young people are taught about married life, what they need to prepare for, that they need to know about, so that they can grow up knowing that marriage is lived in a certain way, and there are certain expectations that a husband has and a wife has to have, so that they are mentored properly and then groomed to grow up in that way. In certain areas, there are books that are being printed to prepare young people for this institution, and they are taught how to live out that life. If they really embrace it and becomes a part of their life, they gain something and they are prepared for that way of life in the married life. This question is wide and it takes time. I think we need you, the press people, to give it every so often time so that the requirements, the values that are required in the married life are brought forward to the public. Those who are married to be reminded of them, and those who are preparing to get married to know about them, and for the young people to be mentored, to be groomed into those values. I would like to thank you for being here, and would like to continue to ask you that we publicize this festival on the 29th of June so that our country and the public at large get to know about it, its importance, what it's going to do in our country and even the African continent, so that people can value, can embrace family life, and can be able to live in the family. And we should not forget that if we have strong families, our country will be stable and the rate of crime will go down, because people, the young children, are raised up properly, knowing who they are, what the value of life is, and how one behaves and one has to live in society, respecting himself, but also respecting other people and respecting the life of others. Thank you for being here, and God bless you.
I think, friends, that marks the end of our function as a precursor to the 29th June function. And I want to thank the...
Why are so many young men and women trying to run away from marriage or family? It's a problem in this generation that the economical status of all people globally is being challenged. And for that matter, many people are shunning away from family responsibility. Secondly, they are things that we have brought into our understanding, but that is not the will of God. That was not the plan of God from the beginning. And these, the laws that have been formulated by different governing bodies in different nations, mainly governance is being challenged by the situations of society. And for that matter, many families have gone apart because of the laws that were formulated. For example, in the Western world, there are laws that don't favor men. The laws only favor women, and sometimes with the children. So men feel like they are being left out in this whole thing, family, they are not considered. So for that matter, they decided to say, I will not go for marriage. Let me go and do whatever that I want, all my desires outside marriage, so that I don't take up this responsibility of marriage. And that has been a big problem. And for that matter, we want to call upon the institutions that make laws, like Parliament, to consider putting down laws that will favor family. Family is a very important unit in society. Without family, nothing works. And secondly, when it comes to another reason why the young men are running away from family, according to my little research, they want to have freedom, this liberty. They don't want to take the responsibility, just being free, you know. When I get married, I'll be, they will ask me questions. How can in Africa a man does not need to be asked questions, and this woman will ask me questions? Why I am educated, I can do my job, so I don't need to get married to this man who will ask me questions, where are you from, what are you doing? All those have brought a problem. And for that matter, we are going to do counseling, helping young people, to look at this as not an issue, and look at the most important thing, that marriage is the beginning of everything. And therefore, we want to call upon young people to come back and enjoy the benefits and the fruits of marriage. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 9, that whole text is all about marriage. But in this verse specifically, talks about the desires of a human being. As Sheikh Al-Waiswa has said, that many people leave family and decide to go and start producing children anyhow. Start scattering them all over. At the end of the day, these children will not know where they came from. They will not know what to do next, because nobody has nurtured them. He or she was born on the street, or with a certain lady who doesn't know where she got this baby from. Oh, she knows, but she cannot exactly tell this baby that so and so is your father, and your father is nowhere. At the end of the day, this child will become a problem to society. First to the mother, and the people around. Secondly, to the whole society. For those of you that have been watching on social media, there is something that I just learned yesterday about a young lady who decided to brutally kill the baby because the one that gave her that baby ran away from her, leaving her with the baby and also HIV. She's frustrated, tormented. She's, you see this and you think she's mad. She's not mad. What brought the madness is this gesture or act of irresponsibility of the father. And for that matter, we want to bring back family, knowing that get a child in family. Do whatever you can do to make sure that you have a family, because it is family that can help us bring up a good society. Uganda, yade yachiziemu ndowooza.
I think, friends, you now appreciate that the family festival is long overdue. Yes, I'm seeing the hand, but I wanted you to give space for us to balance the engagement. As the chairman board was giving the statement.
Kimalira ebyetaago byayo ate n'olyoka ogaba ebweru. Bangi nnyo bagaba ebweru naye ng'ate bw'otuuka mu famire ng'abantu n'akookulya tekaliiyo. N'olwekyo ekyo kyokka kye nsobodde okuggyayo, naye ng'ate ekigendererwa mu bufumbo mu busiraamu kwe kukuuma ekitiibwa ky'obuntu. Kuba omuntu bw'otabeera mufumbo otobeera na njawulo n'ebisolo biri, engeri gye bikolamu ebyayo, gye bimalirizaamu ebyabyo. N'olwekyo ffe ng'abantu okukuuma ekitiibwa kyaffe eky'obutonde ate n'okufuna endyo okugenda nga tuggulukuka tubeere bangi ng'ate tewaliiwo omuntu atamanyi wa gye yava. Bangi mu bantu bajja ne balanga bannange nze oba ani anambulira taata wange gyali oba ani anambulira maama wange gyali nga tamumanyi kubanga bamuzaala ne bamusuula mu kasasiro oba mu dustbin olw'embeera eyo etaali nnuŋŋamu ey'okubeera mu bufumbo. N'ebigambo ebyo kankomaawo ne bannange babeereko nekye boogera.